Cielito Lindo is a family group. Cielito Lindo means my little heaven. We decided on this family group name because our family is our little piece of heaven.
Ay, 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 ay. Canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones de la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo, vienen bajando un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo, de contrabando. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. So tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in. It was always a dream of mine, I think, that one day my kids would play music and just be able to play together. Not necessarily that we were going to perform and have a big group together, but my dad's a musician. I performed with him a couple times, only a couple times, but every time I did, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought, man, that's just an amazing experience to have with your children. I can't wait to enjoy it like a father with my children.
We are not wealthy, but we've always been taken care of by God. And surprisingly, our family music group, Cielito Lindo Family Folk Music, is a source of income that we rely on, and it's through our large family. And it's a lot of fun for the kids, and they're so blessed too because they get to have a little savings and spending money of their own. So they definitely have learned a good work ethic.
And I remember my oldest son Diego being 3 years old, barely being able to walk, and pulling himself up on the piano. So the piano's up here and he's playing the keys, listening to how it sounds. And that was pretty much how they all started, with just kind of playing with the piano or leaving the guitar on the floor, and they'd come out and not even be able to crawl. Diego, he was just a little baby, couldn't even walk, and he'd pull himself up to the guitar and start touching it and banging it, and plucking the strings. And that was just how it started, very little by little.
I don't necessarily believe having the latest toys and a house full of stuff brings joy to a family. For us, it's more simplicity, giving the children the ability to have silent time in a way to play with toys, such as building toys and blocks. And these are things that just last a lifetime throughout. Like the first child, we still have blocks from when they were little, and passing those things on. The children have become so creative. I feel that had we spoiled them with a ton of toys and the latest everything, I don't believe that they would be as content as they are, and joyful and creative.
It was a little bit of encouragement this way and that way as far as which instruments they were going to play. Up until that point, they played tons of instruments. Diego and all of them have, anytime they want to play the ukulele or the guitar or the bass, they're welcome to do that. The piano. Sometimes the kids, I feel like actually now I guess we have almost a library of instruments, even downstairs, and if the kids want to go get an accordion from downstairs, they can go do that, bring it up here and play with it as much as they want. So they're very much encouraged to explore music kind of in their own way.
Sometimes it's month to month. We don't know how things are going to go. The children used to be homeschooled, but now they attend Catholic school, so there's the tuition and transportation for the high school students and the schools they go to, the different fees. But nonetheless, God has always provided, and we really try and use our resources.
I started noticing that they had a lot of talent, a lot of musical talent. They picked up everything that I was showing them and just learning more and more all the time. So one day I said, wow, like the essential elements for a group are this, 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 and that. They pretty much have that. So we started real basic. They would just start and sing with me when I play guitar, and then we'd add an instrument, and then we'd add 2 instruments and a harmony. They would always come and perform with us. Diego and Miguel, when they were little, at farmer's market with our group, and people would applaud and enjoy the music, and they enjoyed the experience too. So I said, that's performing. Let's just keep rolling with it. And they enjoyed it. So we always kept adding things and performing more and more and more.
And it's really exciting. I mean, the kids have gotten to go to places that say, you're going to be on this big, beautiful stage overlooking Lake Michigan and go on, you guys get to go on different rides and see different things around the city of Chicago. And they've played all over in the neighboring states as well. And it's just so much fun. It's really a blessing and also a way to give testimony. Even though I never thought of that, I just see a lot of people approach us because my children are in the public eye a lot of the time. They ask us, wow, how do you do this? How do you manage with your children? What do you do? They seem very polite. And so it's neat. We actually get a lot of positivity.
Music for us is just kind of an opening, a door to open opportunities for them. It's a door for them to learn how to express themselves creatively. Do that with anything, with any type of art or communication, stories, that kind of stuff.
The group, the performing, people are able to, no matter what they think, they can't deny they see this large family working together harmoniously, and they can't help but think, wow, this is something beautiful. You don't see this nowadays. That's some of the comments we get. A lot of people don't have a lot of children these days, and then they see the harmony and that there's something there that makes it work. And I honestly can't attribute it to anything I've done or my husband. I really do think it's the grace of God helping us. And sometimes I just say, okay, God, you gave them to me. I need your help. You need to help me be able to raise them right and to do the right thing.
In our lives currently, there's basically 2 parts to the week. There's the part of the week where the children go to school, and Susie and I are home basically doing all the business stuff. And then there's the part of our weeks where we are out performing. One day we officially said, we're gonna have to name this group. Let's get them shirts, all matching shirts. Let's give them a name, and let's start with the repertoire. And I think we started with like 3 songs, 2 or 3 songs. And that's how we started.
Buenos días, paloma blanca, hoy te vengo a saludar, saludando tu belleza en tu trono celestial.
Eres madre del Creador y a mi corazón encantas. Gracias te doy con amor. Buenos días, paloma blanca.
As our family grew, we just accepted all the children. I believe in divine providence. God helps you. Obviously you want to help yourself. God helps you. Somehow, in some way, there always was when a child would arrive, Juan would get a raise or something would happen. He'd get extra work or some kind of bonus would come financially. It was amazing. I always believed in the divine providence.
We prayed the rosary on a pretty regular basis. We always like to pray before we eat. I think that's one of the few times, especially in a large family, there's so much going on. That's one of the few times that you can get together and kind of put your minds all together in one thing that you do. Another way that I feel that we honor God and do good and almost pray in a sense is when we perform music together as a family. It's a very healing thing, I think, for people, music, and not only for people that you can listen and connect with, but also within our family. And I feel that those times are very special, and I feel that that is, in a sense, a prayer to God, because you're doing what God asked you to do. This is what I'm called to do, and at least for now, for the children for now, that's what they've been called to do. They could change for them later, but I think that's another way that we honor God, is with our music.
My faith has deepened having children because I have to share that with them, the love of God, that knowledge of who their creator is and the expectations for their life. And that has been one of the most favorite things of all for me, to talk to my children. And through children's books and activities, Catholic activities and books celebrating feast days, I was able to learn even more about the faith.
The hardest part for me trusting in God was to do, very difficult to do something like that, because a lot of people say you can't make a living as a musician, you can't support a family as a musician. But I felt that that was my calling. Just like somebody's called to be a priest or a doctor, you know. So I would say that's where it all started.
When I was growing up with my mother, it was just an organic thing. Like, I love God, yes, of course, this is wonderful. And we would do things and make sacrifices. It was just more from the heart rather than external, which I think is very important.
Even though finances is always a practical concern, I always choose to look at my relationship with my family as the primary concern with whatever it is that I do, you know. So there has been tons of reward. I mean, having 7 children, 7 beautiful people that are so different, and being able to interact with them and learn their personalities and teach them things and learn from them and just experience the world with them, sometimes all together. Money by itself or objects, it doesn't compare. It doesn't compare. There is a richness that you can experience with your family.
De tu divino rostro me alejo con pesar. Permíteme que vuelva tus plantas a besar.
If you're kind to your brother, if you're doing something nice for your sister, smiling, not complaining, she's gonna feel good. It's gonna pass on. Another sibling's gonna be watching you from the corner and seeing a good example. And that's really, really important, because I tell them, when you decide to do something that's not right, that's not gonna create peace and harmony. It's not gonna be pleasing to God.
Be as joyful as you can. Sometimes it's not natural or it's not easy, but sometimes you have to make an effort at it. I think make that a goal, that you want to be happy and enjoy your family. There's so many things that go on in life for everybody. There's so much positive things within a family. If you focus on those things, pretty easy to be joyful.
Prayer is important because it's a time where we come together to talk to God, to thank Him. And it's not just about us, but in coming together. I think we appreciate each other more when we do that and realize we're all in this together. I had some difficult pregnancies. I had to be on bed rest a lot. It was a huge sacrifice for the family. My oldest, I remember him being 6 and making sandwiches, for the family. My husband really having to support the family through our family music business, and also taking care of the kids and making sure I was okay and being taken care of, the house. And the kids have lived through that, and have seen it and have seen the sacrifice of what it is.
And you know what? Even sometimes, whether it's working and cleaning or performing, being together is something special, and you have to appreciate it while you have it, because you don't always have that. Your children grow up, and although mine haven't gone away yet, it's gonna happen. And so we try to enjoy and those moments together.
We think as far as giving advice to other families about being a joyful family, I think that it would be wonderful to be able to live a simple life. Don't worry about having everything and making everything perfect. I think a lot of times I tend to be that way, where I want things a certain way. But when you learn to let go, stop stressing about, oh my gosh, this mess over here, or the laundry, and just focus on your children and your family and making them happy. Giving your children time is one of the best things that you can do. You get to know them, and it helps create this bond of trust, and it helps them be able to come to you, talk to you about worries, and then you can guide them and say, well, in this situation, I would do this, or, I prefer this kind of behavior. I'm not happy about that, and just communicate. And I think time is the most important thing. People seem to think in the world, they say, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. But making time for your children, I think, will make for a joyful family.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad.
I will definitely say that unofficially I felt like a relationship had started there, something special. She went for the same Catholic youth gathering.
It's really funny because when my mom called me, she was like, how's it going? And I was like, great, I met this guy. And she was like, what? I thought this was an all-girls thing. And I said, no, there's chaperones and there's priests. And that's actually where I met Juan.
And I met actually several nice young ladies there, but nobody as nice as Susie.
After a while, I think we kind of knew that we might want to spend the rest of our lives together. He was a great companion to me.
It was time to propose.
I was actually very shocked and surprised. I wasn't expecting it at all.
Went out for a date, or what she thought was just a normal date, and we went out to the garden in front of the house.
Walking around, watching fireworks.
She was having a good time. I remember seeing her smile. And
this would be the perfect time to propose. Like, everything's perfect. I didn't want to get my hopes up.
But I pulled out my guitar, which was already tuned, and I played her a song. Tanto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor, nuestras almas se acercaron, tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, como tú llevas también sabor a mí. And I remember being very nervous, a lot more nervous than I am now. And I looked up at her anxiously to see.
I felt very honored because I felt like, wow, this man would like to spend the rest of his life with me. And I knew that he loved God, and that was so important to me. I was very happy. I said yes. And
I was very excited to hear that. And that was the point where we knew we were gonna spend our lives together and start a huge journey, which has been a journey, an amazing journey, yes. When
we first found out that we were expecting, after we got married, it was so surprising. It was I couldn't believe it. I can't believe this. Juan was super excited. I think he wanted to hang the pregnancy test from the car rear view mirror. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, he was probably just being silly, but Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I remember him putting his ear to my stomach, and he would say, "Oh, it sounds like a laboratory in there. I think this one is gonna be a little scientist." And it's funny because our firstborn,
Diego was my first child, and absolutely just enjoyed having him. You know, as a child, it was awesome. I remember him. He was a blue little baby, blue, for a minute or two, you know, till the color changed in his skin. And so I joked that he was my little Smurf, you know. You remember the Smurfs?
he's 15 years old. He loves to do computer programming. He's a great cook since he was the oldest, and he would help me in the kitchen, and then he's a great help with cooking, and I can say, you know, make a lasagna, and he'll just do it, and it'll come out great, sometimes better than my stuff. So he's a great kid, very helpful to all of his siblings, loves them very much. He's a good big brother. The second oldest is Miguel, and he is 14 years old. Miguel loves to play with his siblings. He's a great storyteller, very creative and artistic. So he entertains them, making up like chapter stories, basically. Sometimes if tensions arise, he definitely, his attitude and outlook is so beautiful and peaceful that he reminds people to, hey, let's bring it down, let's get along. So that's really beautiful. Antonio's 13, and he is very much a joyful person. He loves to joke. He's very creative. He's a great artist, and he loves to play soccer and go to the park with his younger brother, and has a great time doing that. He's very introspective and thinks about things a lot, and is very pensive as well, so it's great. Our fourth is Carlos. He is 11 years old. He loves to play sports. He loves to research things and asks a lot of questions. He's into computer programming as well, and animation. Lilia, our daughter, she is our first daughter, and she's 9 years old. She loves to be creative. She loves to read books. She likes to design paper dresses and on 3D forms. Maya is 7 years old, and she loves to draw and sing and dance. She reminds me a lot of myself when I was younger, the outgoing portion. Our son Mateo is 4, and he's the baby of the family. He also loves to draw. He's very artistic, and he loves to learn. He loves to ask questions and sometimes just appreciate nature, and it's really beautiful. I'm enjoying every minute of it.
I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my
We are the Lucero family, and we are joyfully gay!
To all of the viewers of Shalom TV throughout the world, I want to encourage you not only to support this amazing media apostolate, but to spread the word to others. We all know how the internet and mass media are polluting the world with the poison of pornography and so much other forms of materialism. This is the source of eternal life, the gospel. And Shalom TV is consecrated to spreading the word of Christ. Thank you.
Shalom World, God's own channel.